I've done is set this up a little bit like we would a classroom for a course. So there are different topic areas and there is an assignment to do, which is answering the questions. Okay. So the first bit, this bit of an introduction about me. So my name's Georgina. I'm from Sheffield. I have been a family learning tutor for over 10 years and a lead tutor more recently, I think for the past 2 years. And I have responsibilities for improving the quality of teaching and learning. We're really focusing on assessment at the moment, and timetabling, mentoring, all those other roles. I absolutely love my job. I really do, and I think I would have been quite happy really pootling along as a family learning tutor because I love it so much. It's a fantastic job. But Karen encouraged me. Do we say nudged, Karen? I said, "There's this opportunity. Why don't you go for it? Why don't you see what it's all about?" And I'm so glad that I did because it's really, really been so valuable. So, okay. So one of the main benefits to me was finding out how family learning was managed and run in other parts of the country. I'm from Sheffield, I work in Sheffield, I deliver in Sheffield, that's my little bubble, that's what I know. So going somewhere like Lancashire, which is geographically very, very different, the way that Lancashire Adult Learning is set up is very different, it's within an FE college. A beautiful old mill. Is it an old mill?
It's a mill, yeah.
It's
a weaving mill. Yeah.
So very different to Sheffield, and it's been great to see the differences, but also the fact that whatever problem you come across, whatever issue you're facing, somebody has faced it as the same or very similar, and they will have had their way of dealing with it. So just getting those different ideas is really valuable. I've taken lots of ideas from Nicola, so very practical things. Your partnership events that you run, we're going to look at that. Different ways that Lancashire organise their delivery through the year. Again, it's given us lots of ideas that I've sort of brought back to Sheffield, and we're talking about them. We're maybe going to implement some of those changes. I'll just click on the form. I'm hoping this worked. Oh, it did. So the way I've set up this classroom is that I have attached a Google form to it, and this is where the responses are listed. So I've asked, what are the core values of your family learning service? You can see I had a couple of Tesco's. About marketing, because that's something that we're really looking at in Sheffield at the moment. So marketing to learners and marketing to partners. And then what 3 things do you think have had the most impact on the quality of your provision? So if you'd like to answer those questions for me, that would be great. The next big area that I was looking at was about being an effective manager, and this has been really interesting because not only have I got my own manager who has been a mentor for Steve, but seeing how Nicola manages in Lancashire as well. And actually today is the first time Nicola and I have actually met. Because there's been a story, hasn't there? Yeah. But I did go and visit Lancashire and spoke to some members of Nicola's team, so I kind of got the real lowdown on what kind of but it's as Steve has said as well, I think when you sort of starting out on this journey, it's a really good idea to decide what kind of manager you want to be. And there's 3 things that I think I've really learned from this. Is the first one is you have to be passionate about what you do, because it's catching. And if you're passionate and you're leading a team and you're full of enthusiasm for it, how can they be anything other? And I think both Nicola and Karen are very obviously passionate about what they do. The second thing is loyalty. So if you've got your team's back, if they know that you will always look after them, you will always support them. Karen says to us, there's no wrong, there's only learning, which is lovely. Then it just means you get that back, don't you, from your team. It means that people aren't afraid to try things because they're not afraid of making mistakes and getting it wrong. And those 2 things take energy. It can be a bit overwhelming, I think, because you have your own job to do and then everybody else, making their, like you were saying, Steve, about picking up the phone and then somebody coming in. So being able to manage that, being able to manage your own time and look after yourself is very important as well. Okay. So the bit that I kind of realised I knew nothing about was what drives decision making at strategic level. So what I've realised is that you have to have one eye on the day-to-day running of your service. You have to have another eye on what's going on locally, and your other eye on what's going on nationally, and then you could even say internationally. So there's so many things that you have to be considering all the time and juggling, but it's been fascinating for me to see how decision making at the top level trickles down and actually impacts on what we do day to day. So that's been a really big area of learning for me. I think again, as Steve said, networking and meeting all of you is incredibly valuable. When we came down in December, it was great. It felt very vibrant, and there are a group of people who really care about family learning and really want it to succeed and be important and recognised, and so being able to network and meet everybody has been great. And so finally, the future. No, clicked on the wrong thing. I'll just leave it there. So where do I hope to go from here? Well, it's like I said, it's made me think about what kind of manager I want to be. It's made me think about some of the responses, the ways I respond to demands, and so I'm hoping that it's going to lead me down the right path with that. Nicholas said to me, look outwards, and I think that's the main thing that I've learned from being part of the programme, is to look outwards. Don't just look at what you're doing in your little Sheffield bubble. Look at what's out there in the big world and take the best from everybody else. If I've got any top tips for future programmes, it would be, don't send people to Lancashire in the winter.
Or Sheffield.
North of Coventry. I had a very interesting journey over to Lancashire where my windscreen wiper blade came off and then my washer bottle emptied in a blizzard. So that was interesting. But anyway, I think as people have said, the programme is quite short, but hopefully open-ended. It may have been useful to focus on 2 or 3 issues and kind of go to my mentor with particular issues and work through those. But then having said that, I think because I'm at the start of this journey, it was quite useful for me to go just with an open mind and it just be quite a broad brush. So maybe that depends on the mentor-mentee. It's been great being able to meet Steve as well, a fellow mentee, and having that link. So sorry, Lynn, I've always felt like
It's because I'm not.
Oh. But yeah, thank you so much to the Forum for the opportunity. It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. It's taught me a huge amount, and I hope that it goes from strength to strength, and the programme develops and more people get the opportunity that I've had. Thank you.